Hello everyone and welcome back to Newstead Abbey and welcome for the first time to Byron's bedroom. You can actually see Byron's real bed behind me, but that's not the object for today. Today's object is something much smaller and you'll have to come a little bit closer to see it properly. It's a ring, and if you look closely you'll see that it has engraved on it Byron's name as part of the Byron family motto, Crede Byron or Trust in Byron. You'll also see the mermaid, which is part of the Byron family crest. And there's an interesting inscription inside that just says sans peur, or without fear, fearless. Now we believe that this ring was the ring used at Byron's marriage to Annabella Milbank in 1814. And according to Thomas Medwin, Byron said that there was a singular history attached to this ring. Namely, that while Byron was here at Newstead waiting for Annabella's reply to his proposal of marriage, a gardener came into the dining room with this ring, saying that he'd found it in a flower bed underneath the window. It turned out that the ring was Byron's mother's that she'd lost years ago, and according to Medwin, Byron believed that it was sent on purpose for the wedding. Although, with the hindsight that Byron had acquired by the time of his conversation with Medwin, he was seeing it as a somewhat darker omen than he perhaps saw it at the time. He notes that his mother's marriage had not been fortunate, that the ring was doomed to seal an unhappier union still. This wasn't the only omen that Byron claimed occurred in relation to his marriage to Annabella Milbank, and that's actually why we're here in Byron's bedroom, because this was the site of a supernatural warning, according to Byron, who said that around the time of his engagement, the Black Friar of Newstead was seen here by him. Now that Black Friar was, of course, immortalised in his poem Don Juan. Beware, beware the Black Friar, who was a portent of doom for members of the Byron family. Also, according to Medwin, Byron was a great believer in presentiments and had said that at his wedding, he felt as though someone had whispered to him that he was sealing his own death warrant. Also, in his 1816 poem, The Dream, Byron relates that moment of alienation at the wedding solemnized with the ring that I'm holding right now. He writes in the poem that over his face, the tablet of unutterable thoughts was traced. And now certainly that marriage did end in disaster after only a year, but it had more to do with incompatible partners and poor treatment than it did with mystical portents and omens. When Byron was sat here waiting for the reply from Annabella, he was waiting for a reply by letter, to a proposal by letter. They hadn't seen each other for months and had never really spent much time together. Their relationship had mostly taken place through letters and they didn't really know each other. Anna Milbank was a pious young woman who believed that she could reform Byron, but Byron had little interest in being reformed. Money worries, Byron's ill health, both physical and mental, his affair with other women, his relationship with his sister, and his often cruel treatment were all some of the real barriers to the success of their marriage. The failure of Byron's marriage led to a turn against him in public opinion, and he ended up leaving England for the last time in 1816. So this ring that began perhaps as a symbol of hope became something of a portent of disaster. I thank you for joining us for today's Object of the Month, and we hope you can join us again for next month's deep dive into the history that we have preserved here at Newstead Abbey. Goodbye.